Well, I was thinking, if there's one thing worse than being in MAGA, it has to be being married to someone in MAGA. This is Ken Paxton, a tool of a human being running for the U.S. Senate in Texas, who, among many things, wanted to stop COVID vaccines in Texas, force pregnant women in Texas to stay in Texas, and he called for the shooting of immigrants at the border. Now he's being dumped by his wife on Twitter. Today, after 38 years of marriage, I filed for divorce on biblical grounds. I believe marriage is a sacred covenant, and I have earnestly pursued reconciliation. But in light of recent discoveries, I do not believe that it honors God or is loving to myself, my children, or Ken to remain in the marriage. Wow, that's gotta hurt. I mean, tweeting that shit out there, you know he was a dog, right? I mean, you don't tweet that kind of shit if you forgot your birthday or plays too much golf. But to be fair, can you imagine being married to a MAGA male?
You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman.
Yeah, there has to be some form.
I mean, come on. MAGA wives have had to listen to this shit for over 10 years, and I don't care how much you hate Democrats, that's gotta be hard. There's a story in Michael Lewis's book, The Fifth Risk, talking about the night Trump won in 2016. Pence leaned over to kiss Mrs. Pence, and she shoved him away saying, "You got what you want, leave me alone." But Mother Pence isn't alone. Liz Cheney, after voting with Trump 94% of the time, finally said no mas.
I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
And just look at Melania. Now, while I have absolute zero empathy for her, you can tell every day for her is a living hell. You see, the MAGA male views himself as an alpha and Democrats as weak, which is kind of ironic and funny. And it's hard when your leader is a walking advertisement from everything from Ozempic to Viagra to lithium. But listening to them describe women leads me to this conclusion. No woman who is not self-medicating would stay with a creep like this for 38 minutes, much less 38 years.
Basically, what feminism has delivered is angry women and feminine men. And it emerges from this mindset that a lot of women have unfortunately bought into, this destructive idea that men prevent them from being able to achieve their goals. And from the left, from the politically correct, we have all these attacks on men. It's a very hard time to be a man in today's society.
Now, that's a guy named Nick Adams who posts the creepiest misogynistic shit you'll ever see. And just this week, Trump nominated him to be the next U.S. ambassador to Malaysia. And he's from Australia.
You feel it too, don't you? The tide is turning. Masculinity isn't under attack, it's making a comeback. Reasons why 2025 is the year of the man. Look at what has happened over the last 4 years. People locked in their homes while corrupt politicians rode the gravy train. Basic goods are no longer affordable. Our national and individual pride is gone. Victims of hurricanes and fires are left helpless and stripped of their dignity. This is your world when masculine values are rejected. You see, being a real man isn't just about being tough. It's about making the tough decisions.
There are only two genders, male and female.
To do this, you need to cultivate wisdom, train your body for maximum endurance, and make decisions based on your assessment of reality, not based on the whims of misleading emotion.
See, this is what is at the heart of the MAGA man and why MAGA women can only take so much. Let's talk about J.D. Vance, who's married to a woman of Indian descent. Her husband, who is a spineless troll, loves to attack single women.
By a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made.
And J.D. won't even defend his own wife and family when attacked. Vance had a chance to defend them when Nick Fuentes, an avid racist, said this about his Indian wife and kids.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity?
And Vance said and did nothing. Now imagine if that were you, if you were his wife and you heard that shit and your husband's nutsack just receded like that.
Miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made.
Then, of course, there's Trump Jr., who was with Kimberly Guilfoyle through the first 10 years of Trump. She was hardcore MAGA, backing the Trump boys 1,000%.
best is yet to come.
But the best for Kimberly wasn't yet to come. Junior just dumped her and got her sent to Greece. I got more to come, but give me a second, if you will, to tell you about Medicare. If you're looking at Medicare Supplemental right now, look closely, because the medical supplemental industry is a nightmare. Fortunately, I learned about this company called Chapter. After a quick 30-minute call with Chapter, my wife and I will save, hold on to your hats, between $50,000 and $80,000 over the course of our lives. I think that's worth a call, don't you? Chapter is the only national Medicare advisor that compares every available plan. And when you call, you talk to an honest, unbiased advisor who's going to walk you through everything step by step. That's how it worked for me. And if you're already on the right plan, Chapter will tell you. Call Chapter right now. Mention my name, Chip Franklin, when you call. 816-953-0071. The number's right there on the screen. 816-953-0071. So MAGA women aren't just mocked in life. When Trump's previous wife, Ivana, died, he buried her on a golf course in New Jersey. And most recently, longtime mental patient and comedian Roseanne finally had enough of Trump.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy.
Now, as insane as she sounds, Roseanne is off her meds, and it's sad. But she was sane enough to recognize that when Trump didn't reveal the Epstein list, that was a line she couldn't cross. And one more MAGA woman, Candace Owen, she is a real head case. She said black people had it pretty good during slavery. We didn't land on the moon, and Fauci invented COVID. But even she's moving away from Trump.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him?
What I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment, and I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen, and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
Look, Ken Paxton's wife may be an outlier, but I wonder how many MAGA women share her thoughts on this tribe of cockwaffles whose treatment and views on women can be best described as backwards.
Being a straight white dude that likes Trump but is only into liberal women is a lot like being in the closet. Because it's like they're going to ask you about it eventually. And you have to say what we all say, which is, yeah, I don't really follow politics. But like, there's levels to this, man. You got to be discreet. You got to be really good at it. And it's not that hard once you get used to it. You just like lie a lot. If you can just lie really well to liberal women and just like make them think that you aren't really into politics, then everything works out.
Well, that's a warning to all women thinking, look, how bad could it be to date a MAGA guy? Well, this bad.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Goddamn right.
You have no shame?
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donald.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.